Let's dive into a really powerful idea from the book Awakening the Compass. I mean, if you've ever felt like the path you were on just stopped making sense or like the world changed way faster than your 5-year plan, then you're definitely in the right place.
You know that feeling, right? You thought you had the perfect map for your career, for your life, a clear step-by-step guide. But then the world, well, it did its thing. The landscape shifted, and now that old map feels kind of useless. And you're left standing there feeling a bit lost, maybe even totally overwhelmed by all the possible roads ahead.
In this quote, wow, it gets right to the heart of it. What if the whole point isn't about getting to some fixed spot on a map? What if it's about learning how to move forward with real purpose, with clarity, no matter what the terrain looks like? It's all about trading that rigid external map for something way more powerful and reliable, your own internal compass.
Okay, so let's really unpack this core problem. From the time we're kids, we're handed these maps by society, by our families. We even draw them for ourselves. They tell us what success is supposed to look like and the exact route to get there. But here's the catch. We live in a world that is constantly changing, and those old maps can become obsolete almost overnight.
And the difference here is, well, it's huge. A map is all about outside destinations and strict plans. It's pretty fragile, actually. One little detour, one unexpected roadblock, and poof, it's useless. But a compass? That's about your internal direction. It gives you the freedom to have an adaptable journey, one that's guided by a core purpose that is always relevant, no matter how much things shift around you.
So how do we actually find this inner compass? How do we calibrate it? Well, the answer comes to us not in some dense, complicated theory, but through a simple, beautiful fable. A story that brings ancient wisdom to life in a way that just clicks.
Okay, so picture this. The story starts right here, on this silent, moonlit stone called Wuxi. 8 totally different seeds gather together, and at first, they're complete rivals. I mean, each one is boasting about its own unique strengths, convinced it's destined for greatness, and that life is just one big competition. But as they journey on together, something incredible starts to happen. They begin to realize they're not rivals at all, far from it. In fact, each seed represents a totally essential and unique direction on one single unified path. They discover their real strength isn't in trying to beat each other, but in their shared purpose.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This story about the 8 seeds isn't just a nice little tale. It translates directly into a super practical framework for building and understanding your very own inner guidance system.
So, those 8 seeds from the story, they come together to form this, the compass of cultivation. It's beautiful, right? Each plant embodies a core virtue, a direction for living a more balanced and purposeful life. You've got the fern, which stands for humility, the bamboo for harmonious relationships, and 7 others, each one a quality that we can actually grow within ourselves. But hang on, look right at the center. A compass is totally useless without a steady pivot point, right? That's Wuxi, the stone. It represents that stillness, that clarity, that quiet, unwavering center inside all of us. And the big insight here is that all the good stuff, right action, creativity, true peace, it all flows from that calm, steady core.
Let's just zoom in on a few of these directions so you can get a feel for it. You have the lotus, which teaches a kind of compassionate benevolence that can bloom, totally unstained, even from muddy waters. Then there's the ancient ginkgo, representing practical, long-lasting wisdom. And of course, the bamboo, which shows us the amazing strength you can find in flexibility and harmonious relationships.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds really inspiring, but how does it help you navigate a career change, or avoid burnout, or just feel a little less scattered every day? This is exactly where the framework goes from being a cool idea to a real actionable system for your life.
Because see, the goal isn't just to understand the story. The goal is to live it. Wisdom isn't something you just read about and acquire. It's something you have to cultivate, day in and day out, through consistent practice that grounds these lessons in your actual, real-world experience.
And to make this super real, each chapter breaks it down into a simple 3-step process. First, you take a reflective pause to really let the meaning of the fables sink in. Next, you do a practical exercise to actively apply that virtue in your life, like today. And finally, there are specific journal prompts to help you go deeper and actually see your own growth over time.
This is not a book you just read and put on a shelf. No way. It's a whole toolkit for change. It comes with a 30-day cultivation plan and even daily templates to guide your intentions in the morning and your reflections at night. It's a complete system designed to help you build that reliable inner compass, one day at a time.
So, when you boil it all down, the core message here is one of serious empowerment. It's about waking up that guidance system that's already inside you. Your personal path of cultivation, of finding your own true north, it's just waiting for you to take that first step.
And what's great is that this journey is really structured, so you're not just thrown into the deep end. You start by finding that inner stillness, the center of your compass. From there, you move on to cultivating specific virtues like compassion and resilience, all leading you step by step toward a life of real integrated harmony.
So when those external plans fall apart, when the road ahead is foggy and unclear, remember that the most reliable guide you will ever have is the one you've built and nurtured inside yourself.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Looking at those virtues we talked about, humility, compassion, wisdom, integrity, which direction on your inner compass is kind of calling out for your attention right now? What's maybe the first tiny step you could take on your own path of cultivation?